Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be going over the concept of taunting and aggro in Tower of Fantasy. First of all, taunting the enemy and getting aggro basically means you're getting its attention, so it will focus on you instead of your teammates. You will know that you have the enemy's aggro if you see a red icon on top of their HP bar, and you will also see your name on top of the screen if you have the aggro of a boss. Having the Fortitude Resonance will greatly increase your chance to get the aggro, but there are also other things that will increase it even more. If you're in the Void Rift, you can take or request the Warrior buff from your teammates. This gives you an additional 25% aggro to the boss, and it will also increase your HP by 25% if you have 3 stacks. You can also use Huma's Discharge skill because it has a taunt that lasts for 5 seconds. But if you don't have Huma, NA has a taunt from her first advancement, and this has an additional effect that prevents 1 instance of damage for the next 8 seconds after switching to her weapon. Unfortunately, this taunt does have a 15-second cooldown, and generally speaking, it's hard to recommend using SR characters, especially in the later stages of the game. But if you really don't have other options, or you genuinely like using NA's weapon, I'd say go for it. As of now, these are the only 2 weapons that have a taunting capability. Sakifuwa is a future character that has built-in taunts in her ability, so you can start saving for her if she fits your style. What if you are already doing the things that I mentioned, but you still can't keep the enemy's aggro on yourself? This is something that's frequently asked in my previous videos, so I'm here to explain it the best I can. Basically, there are 3 reasons why you will lose the enemy's aggro. First reason is that your teammate is possibly running a Fortitude setup and the 2 of you are fighting over the enemy's aggro. Second, you might be too far away from the enemy, or you are not using enough normal attacks. I don't have a solid proof for this, but I'd like to imagine that Tower of Fantasy's aggro system works similar to other MMOs. If you are not close enough to the enemy or not hitting it enough times, eventually the other players will take aggro instead. Think of it as like a point system, and the boss attacks the players who has the most points. Every other player adds 1 point of aggro every time they attack, but you as a tank with all your taunting buffs adds, let's say, around 10 points of aggro per hit. So if you don't attack enough, the other players will eventually catch up to your total points and they will get aggro instead. And the third reason is that the player getting aggro is doing way more damage than everyone else. The player who does 40% or more of the total team damage always gets the aggro, and there's not much you can do about it. You can take the aggro for a second or 2 after using Huma's Discharge skill, but the aggro will just go back to the player who's doing the most damage for the team. You don't really need to worry about getting aggro in this situation, because most of the time, if they're strong enough to do that much damage, they're also strong enough to take it. Alright, so that about sums up everything you need to know about taunting in Tower of Fantasy. If you have any questions or if you think I missed anything, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.